my name is Nancy, and I'm here with my interviewee, Liz, who comes from Vietnam. And how did your family decide to come to the United States?
They decided to come because food was scarce, and my mom had to support like 5 kids at that time, and she didn't make enough to feed all of us. Trying to save up a little bit of money or enough food and fuel for the boat, that because my parents they fish for a living. My dad did, but my mom was she rows the transportation boat back and forth, and so we did own a small boat at that time, and we just decided to go. We came to the Thai refugee camp in Bangkok, and we were there for 2 years.
Wow.
Before our uncle found us from the United States, just searching for us, and he found us, and we flew here.
So what kind of challenges did you come across that you can remember when, coming to the United States and trying to adapt?
It was hard. It's like you don't really know what's going on. You can't understand the language, and they don't understand you. And I remember teachers and people like try to talk slowly to you, but even though you can't even understand what they're talking about,
it didn't matter.
No, it didn't really matter. You just sat there and you just look at them, and the kids just look at you, and they didn't really want to play with you.
So how did you adapt to those challenges? What did you do?
Watch a lot of TV. Lots of cartoons. And that's how I started to beginning to understand and ESL programs that they put you in, and eventually you get to see how people live and play. And basically, the first day of school, you just stick to family, because my sister went to the same school, so we just stuck together.
Food. How did you like American food?
When I was younger, I loved pizza.
Pizza?
Basically, I think the younger you are, it's easier to adapt to certain foods, hamburgers and stuff. But my parents had a little bit of a harder time.
Do you celebrate any Vietnamese holidays?
Well, we celebrate the lunar holiday. It's called the Harvest Moon, where we do celebrate the moon for harvesting. Like, we have traditional cakes and desserts.
This is Liz's puppy. His name is Primo. So obviously you have pets. Is this a common practice in Vietnam for people to have pets like this?
A lot of my relatives do have pets.
Do they treat them the same? Like, are they allowed on the couch? And
no, basically they're not like, they don't treat pets as their own children. They treat pets as somebody security or
a working animal.
Yeah, or
or food. Sustenance, okay.
Yes.
They're for survival. You mentioned that your family learned to use the public transportation system here. How did your family travel in Vietnam?
Walking, or what my mom did was is to transport by canoe because where we lived, it's all surrounded by water, so the only way to get in and out is through a boat, a small boat.
Do you still find that you have any challenges here, being that you're from a different culture, or do you think you've pretty much fully adapted?
Well, in American tradition-wise and how to act, basically, I've adapted pretty well, but the language sometimes gets me. Grammar, I'm still not very good at grammar. I believe it's because I still speak Vietnamese in a way, where my younger siblings, they're fine. They adapted 100%. They pronounce everything and grammar.
Do they speak Vietnamese?
Not really.
Oh, maybe. Yeah,
not really.
Maybe that makes a difference. Did you have any difficulties getting used to this weather, or how is it different from Vietnam?
Vietnam is a tropical place where they don't really have a winter. Besides, it depends on where you live, but where we live it gets as cold as 65, and I think it's cold.
Wow, that's tropical here.
Basically, and so my mom took her a while to adapt because she got sick a lot, and it's just not warm and.
Mm-hmm. As far as religion, you mentioned that you're not Christian. Do you practice any religion right now?
Well, my family is considered Buddhist, but we don't really practice Buddhism.
Well, Liz, thank you so much for your time, and I hope that your stay in the United States continues to be good and happy and prosperous.
Thank you.
During my interview with Liz, I have learned that she has overcome a lot of hardship coming to the United States and seems to be fairly well adjusted and happy in the situation that she's in. Even though it's not really the same idea, I kind of equate her experience to Oslin's model, The Hero's Journey. She was not traveling abroad per se, but she was kind of thrown into this call for adventure, and she was, you know, when she came to the United States, the belly of the whale was adjusting to this strange new world, and she overcame the conflicts that she encountered and, you know, learned the intercultural communicating by listening to popular culture, radio, music, TV, things like that, and was able to overcome her situation here. And the cultural transition seems to have been fairly smooth overall. She was young enough that she was able to, you know, adjust and adapt fairly well. She wasn't raised too long in the Vietnamese culture, so she was young enough that I think it wasn't too much of a shock to her worldviews, if you will. And in conclusion, it was a great experience talking to Liz and learning about her experiences, not only here in the United States, but the trial that she overcame coming to the United States. It's amazing everything that she went through, losing family members, but still coming out with such a positive attitude and just an open mind for her future. And I wish her the best of luck. Thank you.